Hello, welcome back to another spotlight on Rudy Nebres. But today, let's start out with a few samples from Tom Sutton. I'm not a fan of Tom Sutton, and I pull out some books that I have that Tom Sutton either pencil and ink or ink. So probably the most notable book that Tom Sutton did is this one, the first Furry Beast. Okay, and for those that are familiar with this book, I'm just gonna give you a quick sample. Sutton's style is not, like I said, not polished. Okay, I'm trying to find the right word for it. His panel layout is okay, but the anatomy, the inking, to, to me, he almost went to the school of Don Heck inking in that there's always a lot of little lines that doesn't make any sense as far as why they are there. Okay, but as you can see, give you samples of what his works look like. And for those who are familiar with his work, you probably can skip this portion of the video, but here is another issue. Once again, as you can see. Like I said, there's a lot of, when he ink his own work, there's a lot of lines, a lot of area where it would have been better off not have any ink in it, in my opinion. Sometimes less is more. Okay, just like that. Okay, as I mentioned, the Don Heck School of Inking. Real quickly, I pull out some nice looking Gil-Kane covers of Warlock. Beautiful picture frame. And in this book, Tom Sutton did the inking. And right off the bat, as you can see, even the great Gil-Kane work was troubled by Sutton inking. Here's a perfect example of the lines I'm talking about. To me, this does not look good. And it's just, like I said, if you have this book, you can see it. Gil-Kane is much more polished as far as his penciling. And I think the end result with Tom Sutton inking lessen the beauty that is Gil-Kane. Still a nice book to look at and flip through, but certainly I think those that are Gil-Kane fan would agree in general that Tom Sutton was not a good match to ink Gil-Kane's work. And issue number 2 is just a gorgeous red. This is just a beautiful picture frame color scheme. Beautiful. This book is not perfect. It has a couple of dings on the spine, but overall very well centered. Not perfect either, but once again, let's take a look. This one is layout by John Buscema, and then Tom Sutton to finish the work and the inking. Okay, so hopefully so far you get a feel of what Tom Sutton can do. Okay, so now let's take a look at the book. That was Ink by Rudy. Just to give you a perspective of what Rudy, with his inking style, can transform the work of Thomas Sutton. Here's Doctor Strange, issue 33. Rudy did not work a lot in comic books, especially, he did some magazine, more work on magazine, but when it comes down to comic books, this and John Carlos of Mars got most of his work, I think. Just look at this splash. As you can see, Tom Sutton. Right away, you can see the luscious work of inking by Rudy. One of the things that I think that does not work well with Rudy is his inking style, where certain area he used very a light touch of ink, and it get lost in translation in smaller print, and the color kind of muddy it out. But I think they are beautiful. It's just that the color format of comic books sometimes make his work not as beautiful as the black and white format of the magazines. Just look at this. What a beautiful. Seriously. For those that are familiar with Tom Sutton work, many probably would agree that this is some of his best work, right? And many can thank Rudy for it. It's beautiful. I mean, Rudy is another one of those artists that I think works so well with Doctor Strange. Too bad he doesn't do more Doctor Strange, in my opinion. Just look at that. Just look at this stuff. When I flipped through this book, I almost couldn't help but think that the panel layout of this book was done by Jim Starlin, based on the way the panels are and the way Sutton drew. It looked a lot more to me to be Starlin, because Starlin did do some work for this series with Rudy. So just, you never know. You never know how things was done and credit was given back then. Just look at that. Beautiful stuff. This is a great panel right here. It's gorgeous. How about this one? Beautiful. The bottom up view. See, if this book was in black and white, I think it would be an eye candy, even more gorgeous, because the smaller detail would show up and the final line of inking will be more visible. Love that. Just look at that. So there you go. Another artist that Rudy was able to make the work look fantastic with his great inking skills. And let's end the video with some more eye candy from Deadly Hands of Kung Fu. Okay, so let's look at this issue, Deadly Hand, issue 21. Just look at this beautiful splash page. Just look at the amount of detail that he puts on the folds of the jacket. Unbelievable. That gorgeous. The kind of detail that most artists would ignore completely. And then the beautiful lines of inking. Look at that. With the way Rudy can draw action, especially martial art actions, I think he would have been awesome to work on, say, a Daredevil book with all the movement associated with Daredevil action. I think it would have been awesome. Or even like Moon Knight. But we'll never know. Look at that. Look at that beautiful picture. The sequence of action is just awesome. Okay, these are kind of pages that you have to lean back and fully appreciate all the action and lean in just to see the beauty close up. Just look at this. That is just beautiful right there. How about this full page? Just look at this sequence of actions. And that's it. Thank you for watching.